TikTok has definitely made its mark on fashion and how fast trends move.
I started buying and selling sneakers in 8th grade. And so that's when I first got into my fashion entrepreneurial journey.
I got into fashion starting back in middle school. Once I went on to college at NYU, I got exposed to a much broader fashion scene. I started making friends who were actually into styling.
We were doing street fairs and we were going to different parties, and we even had our own pop-up. And then we finally got to the point where we were like, okay, we want to get more eyes on this. I was posting on TikTok for fun. I was studying a lot of the trends because I knew that when this generation was going to be older in 5 to 10 years from now, that's the core market we wanted to capture. And then I finally posted a video, and all it took was for me to say vintage secret designer pop-up with edibles in New York City. And then the next week it blew up, and on that next Saturday was when a bunch of kids just started lining up and crowded our booth. And then I went to my partner Takashi and I was like, dude, we have to open up a store.
TikTok before I started posting content. The video that kind of popped off was a packing video. Overnight, it got 1 million views. By the end of that week, I had 100,000 followers. I nearly sold out my Depop shop. That was a crazy moment for me. That was the first time I ever went viral. 2021 came around and I did a pop-up in April, both at Bowery Showroom for their grand opening and at my friend's shop, Funny Pretty Nice. I made TikToks for both of them, and just seeing the amount of foot traffic that came in on both of those days was just insane to me. Then Matt told me about this location that it was available. After his grand opening, I was in here talking to the realtor, and then I signed the lease.
TikTok has been an integral part of the business, obviously, because now we've branded the store as a TikTok store and a TikTok block where all these influencers and people that we've met off TikTok are coming into the store.
90% of Gen Z want to shop IRL, even though they find out about everything on TikTok.
Everything that's part of here is meant for content, and so we can post it online so that even people who haven't stepped foot in here yet still understand the energy and the vibe that we're trying to go for.
I would never reach 1 million people in real life, but with one video I can do that. I reached out to one of my favorite brands from when I was growing up, which is Happy Bunny, and the creator actually got back to me the next day, and he was so down. We unearthed hundreds of dead stock inventory that he had laying in his archives. We were able to introduce this brand that was popular 20 years ago to all these young kids, and they were super excited about it.
The community aspect is probably the thing that I'm most proud of, because I grew up in this neighborhood. We started to understand how the community was changing here. A lot of that came with, gentrification. For me, it was like, let's start something that's true to New York and true to this neighborhood. Let's take this new social media scene and bring it to a space that people can feel included, and it can be the safe space where people can create, connect, where there's a pop-up and a block party, drawing on the mirrors, and local business selling food outside.
Building a community can be done both online and in person, because the personal aspect of a shop like this is so different from traditional retail. But the reason someone would come into Rogue is for me, like for the face of the brand.
The nature of business is going to change, and the nature of retail, especially in commerce, is going to be evolving. I think that for the future of business and the future of retail, that's the way that it should be moving.